Alright, this is going to change out a headlight. I believe the years are 2013 up to 2015. Alright, so for this job you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver or bit, whichever one you go with, and then a T15 Torx bit, star bit, whatever you want to call it. There you go. And then a 20 T20 bit, 7mm, 10mm, a ratchet, and a pick to get that wire piece off with, or to do some wiring stuff with. Extension, swivel head does come in really handy. And then if you're like if you're like this car, I needed some pliers just to bend some of the metal around to make the light fit back in again. So this is a 2013 Chevy Malibu. You can see it's got a broken out glass here. The fender here is bubbled out. Bumper cover has popped loose and also cracked loose from its screw in the back corner there, so we're going to have to fix that. Other than that, everything else is pretty fine, so we're just going to patch this up. The owner didn't want to put too much money into it. So you can see here where the fender's bubbled out there. Pretty good amount. I mean, it's probably finger width away from the light, and it's actually pulled down away. So, and it bubbled it out. It actually pulled it away from there. So we're going to have to put all that back in to make it all look right again. Another thing to remember when you're pulling your car in to work on your headlight, angle the tire, whichever side you're going to be working on, into the light. Alright, so first you're going to be taking out all these screws along the top, and then there's some on the back side here all the way across. So take all those out and remove this plastic piece here, and that will let the bumper pull away. There should be about 15 screws all the way across here, front and back here. So here and here, all the way across. After you get that out, then the bumper should kind of pull away a little bit. Should be able to take it and move it up and forward. And you get down there underneath the light, you can see that screw right there. That one has to come out before the light will. And there should be, I think, 4 screws holding the light in. After that, we should be able to finagle it up and out. First, you're going to start by taking out the 15 screws across the top here. So all these on the top and these along the back where these orange things are here, all the way across. Take all those out. Then you're going to come down here. This one's already, broken loose, but there'll be one 7mm here. And then on the back side here, there's a few more Allens down through here, 3 of them. And then underneath there are 3 Phillips screws up underneath here, and that will allow this bottom piece to kind of pull back and away a little bit. Alright, so we finally got the light out. The screws hold it in. There's going to be one here. There's going to be one right here. One right back in here. And there's also one way down up in this corner. But let me just show you where it's at on the light. So it's right here. And it's basically going to be right back behind this area right here. And that's about the hardest one to get to. I had to use a small 1/4-inch drive, 7mm short socket on it. I was able to get just enough to turn it loose. You could probably just leave that one out, if you're doing it for yourself. But since I'm going to be doing it for a customer, everything's got to go back in like it originally was. So, yeah, that's how you remove it, and then we'll get to repairing the fender here and we'll put it back in. Alright, so there's only a few things that I had to change from the old light to the new light. One of the things was this little wire clip here. You just have to push this little prong up and it will slide back and away. And all that does is it's just supposed to slide on that little flat piece of plastic right here and just keeps it from just sitting in the car rattling around. The other thing, I just had to switch out these lights. So let's see here. So here they are inside the housing. This one, it's got a 2-prong and this little wire clip. It just folds down underneath that piece of metal there, and that's all that holds that one in. And then this one, it's got a turnstile type holder on it. You'll put on the plug. Let me get the plug out here. Plug. It's just got a little push down tab on the back side of it right here. You push that down and it will pull away. When you're installing it, you're just going to pull it out here before I put this on, and it's going to go down and then turn almost straight down, and that'll be locked in place. Then you can put the caps back on. And then this one here, it's just the blinker and the side marker, and it's just got 2 little tabs that you'll just turn halfway around. It'll come out, and it's just a slide in glass bulb. Pretty easily replaced. There you go. Alright, so this one's basically ready to put back in the car now. I'm going to tape up some of these wires up here where it's going to be actually held on with this clip, because if not, all these are just going to kind of be sitting down in there. Alright, so now I got the light sitting back in there. It's pretty much lined up back with this fender over here. Before you go and start bolting all the bolts back in, make sure that you have all the lights in. There are 2 blinkers down at the bottom here. There's one running light here, one small running light on the outside there, and then you got your 2 high beam and low beams right there. So just make sure all those in. I've missed these 2 at the bottom here when I was putting it in, so just make sure that you check that before you slap everything back together, and then figure out that you're missing something, have to pull everything back off again. Just a really quick tip. Yeah, everything seems like it's lighting up pretty good. I got most of the fender dent out, just a little bit there, but you know, and we're just going to just live with it. Alright, so now since I know everything's working, I'm going to go ahead and slap everything back together and make sure it's all up there and good. The only thing I'm going to have to try fixing here is this rip where the hole is. Might put me a plastic washer around it and glue it on there so it has something to pull against. Other than that, everything should be good. I'll just wrap it all up. Alright, so I've got the headlight now bolted in place by the 4 screws, and the fender actually came out decent. Not great, you can still see that little line right there, but you know, but for what it was, not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and start putting in the bottom screws here first, and then work my way back up, and then I'll probably have to move the top to fit the hood a little bit. And it was pretty cheap. This one, $130 I think off eBay is what I paid for it, and the original factory one was going to be about $400, and that was plus shipping. It was like 300 something. So yeah, I'll put the link in the description below for this light if you're interested. It seems like it was built pretty decent and pretty close to the original one, like that one over there. Yeah, so everything seemed like it lined up pretty close. Closed the hood, and it seems like it's going to line up pretty decent. So we'll go ahead and get this all situated, and I'll show you what it looks like at the very end. Alright, so she's back in. Looks pretty much like the other side, except it looks a little bit newer. Got the lines pretty even now. I had to readjust it. Those little screws on the very top there, you'll just have to leave them loose and kind of pull and yank it down wherever it kind of lines that about even all the way across there. And it's got a rubber boot here that you can adjust up and down to re-level the hood with the fender and the light. Yeah, so it came out pretty good. Pretty happy with it. All the lights work on all the functions. So not too bad. The job, if you're just doing the light and don't have to do any the fender or anything like that, it should take you about an hour or so to replace your headlight there. So at least give you about 2 hours or so after you gather up all your tools, just to make sure that you get it in case you need the car the next day. Alright, well, y'all have a good one.